Let's study triangle law of vector addition. What is this triangle law of adding two vectors? This is suppose that there is a vector given. This is vector A. Okay. Addition will happen. It means there will be two or more than two vectors. Then they will be added, not by single vector. Then we need one more vector. Let it be one more vector. It is suppose that let it be one more vector. This is vector B. We have to add them. Okay. Then the question arises how we will add. Now to simplify this addition, we know triangle law of vector addition. This law states that if two vectors are taken in the same order as like the sides of a triangle, then the third side will give the resultant if the third side is taken in opposite order. Okay, so let it be vector A, and this vector B is plotted from here. This is vector B. Okay, these two, if these two are the sides of a triangle, the third side will be this, and this side will be the resultant if this is in this way, this is in this way. Okay, going in this anti-clockwise pattern, then this will be in clockwise pattern, this opposite pattern, you can say opposite pattern. This will be the resultant vector. Resultant means what? Vector A plus vector B, where vector R will be vector A plus vector B. Okay, so let's define it. The definition is if two vectors are represented, here it is, if two vectors are represented by two sides of a triangle. Okay, let us take two sides of a triangle. Suppose this is triangle. Okay, this is a triangle, let it be, this is A, B, C. This is a triangle and two vectors are represented by two sides of a triangle. It means this is one side, these two, suppose it is vector P. You can name anything, vector A, vector C, vector, any name can be taken. Suppose it is vector P and this is vector Q, let it be. Okay, two vectors are represented by two sides. It happened taken in a specific order means if it is this way, it will be this way. A specific order means what? Clockwise or anti-clockwise. These two are forming the clockwise movement. Okay, the resultant will be represented by the third side. This third side AC will show the resultant if taken in opposite order. If this is taken clockwise, this will be taken anti-clockwise. So these two in clockwise, this in anti-clockwise, it AC shows vector R, which is vector R. This is a resultant of P and Q. Okay, the resultant vector will be shown by vector R taken in opposite order. Okay, simply the main thing is order. Okay, this same order and opposite order, where it is a specific order. Okay, so what we considered two vectors, vector P and vector Q, and we considered third vector R. Okay, these two having same order, this is opposite order. This is the main consideration. Two vectors will be in the same order and the third vector will be in the opposite order. These three vectors, if a triangle will be formed by these three vectors, then vector R will be the resultant. It is simple. This is the triangle law of vector addition. Any two vectors. Okay, suppose let us give one more example. If it is given, suppose that this is vector A and this is vector B. Okay, and if we have to add, what we will do? We will simply keep any one. Suppose we take vector B will be put simply at this head. Okay, this is also vector B. Okay, in this way, this is coming in anti-clockwise fashion. So this vector will be in this fashion, in the opposite manner will be the resultant. Okay, simply we have to lift this vector and put it on the head of one vector. Okay, and form a triangle. Okay, and after formation of the triangle, the resultant vector will be the third vector, third side. Okay, let us find out the resultant of vectors in triangle law. Okay, for this let's take this one as a vector. This is suppose that starts from O, this is P. Okay, let's take one more vector in this fashion, same fashion. It is going anti-clockwise fashion. It is, let it be point Q. Rename these two vectors. This is vector A, this is vector B. Okay, what will be the resultant will be this vector. triangle is complete. This is vector R. What will be the manner of this? In which manner the arrow will be pointed? This clockwise, so it is anti-clockwise, this in this manner. Okay, so this will be the resultant vector. And find the magnitude of resultant. How to find the magnitude? This magnitude we have to find out. How will you find? In a triangle, remember Pythagoras theorem can be helpful. If we will find the side length, magnitude means what? Side length. What is the length of the side? Okay, if this is a vector, this is also a vector represented by sides of the triangle, then find the side length of the triangle will be the resultant of the vector. Okay, side length means this magnitude of OQ. To find this, let us make it a right triangle at first. Join it, extend. After joining, this will be point. Okay, let it be point M N anything. This will be point N. Okay, and point N will be the point of junction from this. Okay, let it be angle theta. Let it be angle alpha, beta, anything we can take. Okay, what is this? Theta is angle between these two vectors. Why theta is angle between these two vectors? Theta is angle between vector A and vector B. Why? Theta is this vector and this one between these two, and this is what? This is the extended part of vector A. Okay, this line is extended part of vector this A. So this is vector A extended part, this is vector B, so theta is angle between vector A and vector. Okay, now what will be this one is what? This is Pn. So in mathematics this is PQ, sorry, this is PQ, so PQ cos theta. Okay, Pn equals to PQ cos theta. It will be by trigonometry. This is mathematics now. Okay, PQ cos theta can also be written as vector B, that is B cos theta. You can write simply for calculations, B cos theta. Okay, and what is this one? This Pn, sorry, Qn will be what? This Qn will be B sin theta. This vector B sin theta. This one is vector, this is theta. This is mathematics. In trigonometry class 10th, you might have studied. Using that, we got this value Pn and Qn, because these two were unknowns in triangle ONQ. Now apply Pythagoras theorem in triangle O. By applying Pythagoras theorem, what we will get? OQ square equals to what? ON square plus this complete ON square plus QN square plus QN square. OQ square is what? Resultant square. ON is what? ON is OP plus PN. ON is OP plus PN square plus QN is what? QN is B sin square theta. Squaring this, we will get what is OP is vector A plus PN is what? PN. This PN is given as B cos theta. We put these values, square it, plus B square sin square theta. Then this extend it, A square plus B square cos square theta plus 2AB cos square theta plus B square sin square theta. Calculating this, what we will get? We will simply get A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. This is 2AB cos theta will remain. How will this A square will remain? These two will happen. These two B square, in these two B square will taken as common, and cos square theta plus sin square theta equals to 1. So it will remain B square only. Okay, so R square equals to this. So value of R will be under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Okay, this will come as the resultant. Okay, by Pythagoras theorem here. Pythagoras theorem in triangle this, we will get resultant vector as this one, where theta is what? Theta is angle between vectors. If angle between vectors will be given, then we simply find out the resultant using this formula. Okay, and if we will need to find this alpha. What is this alpha? This is alpha is the angle between resultant and vector A. Resultant, which will also be treated as the direction of resultant. If you will need to find what is the resultant vector and what is the angle the resultant vector makes, the angle it makes means what? It makes angle alpha with vector A, and it makes some angle also with this vector B, but we take any one angle. So here we take angle alpha. To find angle alpha, what we will do? we will simply find out tan alpha. Alpha is what? Alpha, write down here. This alpha is what? Angle between resultant and angle that resultant makes. Angle made by resultant. This is angle made by resultant. Okay. Tan alpha will be what? These two are two different angles. This theta is angle between vectors. This theta will be used to find out the resultant. Okay. And what resultant makes will be this alpha. Okay. Angle made by resultant will be this, and angle made by the vectors, given vectors, will be this. Okay. So tan alpha will be qn by this one. Perpendicular by base we know in triangle this ONQ, in triangle ONQ, tan alpha will be qn by ON. And again we write ON is what? Plus PN. We can write QN is what? QN is B sin theta, and OP is what? OP is vector A, and PN is what? Remember here A means magnitude of vector A. Okay, because the side length is a magnitude. Okay, and PN is what? PN, this PN is B cos theta. So alpha will be tan inverse B sin theta by plus B cos theta. So what we got the formula for resultant, we got the formula for angle that the resultant makes. Okay, makes with the initial vector A here. So if the question will be given like two vectors are given, vector A and vector B, and the angle between these given vectors will be theta also given, then we will find the resultant by this formula. And if the question is asked what is the angle the resultant makes, then we will that angle by this formula. Okay, this theta is the angle between the given vectors, and this alpha is the angle made by the resultant with one of the vectors given. Okay, now let's solve one numerical. Here is the question: two vectors C and D having magnitude 5 units. There are two vectors given whose magnitude is 5 units each, and angle is 30 degree with each other. Suppose this is one vector C is given, this is another vector D is given, and the angle between these two is 30 degree. It is given. This will be the resultant. Okay, the resultant will be in this manner. Okay, in opposite manner, and this is anti-clockwise, this is clockwise. Okay, and this is in opposite manner, so this will be the resultant. Now we have two things, two ways to solve it. Either we will solve using Pythagoras theorem by dropping the perpendicular here and taking this triangle as right triangle and getting the magnitude of this side, hypotenuse side, and that will be the resultant vector. Or we can directly put the formula R equals to what? Under root C square plus D square plus 2 CD cos theta. It will be here, and putting all these values, the answer will come to what? This is 5 square plus 2 into 5 into cos 30 will be cos, here it is cos 30 degree. We will put these values, we will solve, and the answer will come to, this is okay, it will come to 5 2 plus root 3. This much units it will come. Okay, because this is mathematics part, you can solve it by yourself. Okay, now since we have to find the resultant vector, this is one important point. Not only resultant anything, but the resultant vector has not only magnitude but also direction. So direction of vector means what? Remember angle alpha. Do you remember angle alpha? It means what resultant, this one, this angle alpha, this is the direction of the vector. Okay, what the resultant makes with one of the vectors, that is initial vector you can take. Okay, this angle we have to find. This angle will be found by the formula tan alpha will be, simply put the formula D what? D sin theta by C plus D cos theta. Put these values. The value of D is what? 5 sin 30 degree. 5 into sin 30 degree by 5 plus cos 30 degree. Solving this, you will get what? 2 minus root 3. So alpha will be tan inverse 2 minus root 3 equals to tan inverse 0.268. Looking at the table or scientific calculator, we will get how much? 15 degree. Okay, answer this two. Okay, so there are two ways: directly putting the formula and applying Pythagoras theorem. Okay.